Installation of Holzplast siding and gutter system during winter. We all dream about our homes, but what if our house isn't as beautiful as we would like? Holzplast siding is one of the most practical and affordable ways of improving your home. You can revitalize it and give it a new architectural look. Several finishes are available. For our home, we selected the following Holzplast products. Wandstein facade panels for the foundation walls, and Holztanne Ast clapboard siding in pearl for the house's facade, and in chestnut for the addition. We'll use Wandstein outside corner posts to frame the corners and windows. We'll install soffits on the eaves of the house and cover the gable with Holzbrett vertical siding. In addition, we'll install the classic Rohrfittmeister 120 gutter system on the facade. Can you install the siding yourself? Of course. The main thing is to observe the basic installation rules and organize things in the proper sequence. We need the following equipment: a carpenter's level, a tape rule, a carpenter's square, a siding hole punch, a screwdriver, and an angle grinder. Stage 1. Repairing the walls. Before starting the installation, we need to remove loose boards, the old gutter system, the trim, and the shutters. We'll attach two types of furring strips, wooden ones for installing insulation on the outside of the house, and metal ones for the siding. The wooden furring strips are unfinished. But before attaching them, we'll treat them with a flame retardant and biopreservative agent. We use the carpenter's level to make sure the furring strips are evenly spaced. We attach the furring strips horizontally, 49 centimeters apart. The width of the insulation determines the spacing. In this case, we're using a 50 centimeter mat. The spacing is 1 centimeter less to ensure a tight fit. We install furring strips on all the walls and around the windows and doors. We install them on the gable as well. Next, we begin insulating the walls. We place the insulation so as to completely cover the space between the furring strips. We also secure the insulation to the walls using insulation washers. But how do we protect the walls against humidity and wind? We cover the insulation with a vapor-permeable, wind-resistant and waterproof membrane. We apply the membrane horizontally, moving from bottom to top with a smooth side out. We secure it with a construction stapler. It needs to overlap at least 10 centimeters at the horizontal and vertical joints. The final stage in wall preparation is the attachment of counterbattens on the insulation. The counterbattens are installed to make sure the surface of the walls is even. They prevent the siding from taking on a wavy appearance later. The counterbattens are located 40 centimeters apart under the horizontal siding. We begin by marking the start point for the hangers. Place a mounting profile against an outside corner and use it to mark the edge of the corner. Attach a straight hanger. Attach the next hangers to the first furring strip. The furring strip must be located 3 centimeters above the ground. Attach a metal strip. Make sure it is vertical using the carpenter's level. Leave a 1 centimeter space at the corners so that there is no gap between the corners and the siding panels when the Wandstein outside corner posts are attached. Attach the next strip in the same manner, and continue by attaching metal strips at 40 centimeter intervals. Construct a frame around the windows. For vertical siding, the leveling battens are attached horizontally. Space them 40 centimeters apart also. Wall preparation is the most complicated stage of the operation. This phase took us 3 days. Stage 2. Installation of Wandstein facade panels. We use Wandstein facade panels to cover the house's foundation walls. They both beautify the house and protect it against environmental factors. Place the mounting profile against an outside corner. Use it to mark where the corner ends. Then mark a point 6 millimeters in from the line. Place the end of the start strip against that mark. Install the start strip, making sure it's perfectly horizontal. Check it using the carpenter's level. After attaching the start strip, proceed to install the Wandstein outside corner mounting profile. Make sure it's perfectly vertical and secure it with self-drilling screws. Check the gap between the mounting profile and the start strip. It should be 6 millimeters. The final step is installation of the panels. Trim the left side of the panel. Attach it to the start strip, maintaining a distance of 6 millimeters from the mounting profile. Attach the panel with self-drilling screws placed in the center of the openings no more than 40 centimeters apart. Leave a 1 millimeter gap between the screw heads and the panel to allow for thermal expansion. Place the next panel on the start strip and push it tight against the first panel so that a natural pattern is formed. Secure the panel. Cut the last panel to the proper size and install it in the same manner. Install the outside corner posts after installing all of the panels. They snap easily onto the mounting profile. Attach the drip molding after installing the facade panels and corners. The Wandstein line includes facade panels that mimic stone or brickwork. We use them to cover the foundation, but they could also be used on the entire facade. They look completely natural, and they are easy and quick to install without visible joints. Sunlight will not fade the panels, and freezing temperatures will not cause them to crack. With Wandstein facade panels, you can be sure your house will look beautiful for many years to come. There are a few rules you need to follow when installing Wandstein facade panels. 1. Always install the panels from left to right. 2. When transitioning to another wall, always begin from the lowest point of the structure. 3. Always leave a 1 millimeter gap between the screw head and the panel when attaching panels. The gap is needed for thermal expansion. Stage 3. Installation of Holz siding vinyl siding. Let's begin installing the Holztanne Ast clapboard siding. We'll start the first row using this start strip. Attach a Wandstein outside corner mounting profile to a corner. Mark its edge on the furring strip. Back off 6 millimeters from those marks. Install the start strip beginning from those marks. Attach it to the furring strips with the self-drilling screws placed in the center of the openings, leaving a 1 millimeter gap. Install the strips with a 12 millimeter gap between them, using the carpenter's level to make sure the start strip is perfectly horizontal. We'll use Wandstein outside corner posts to cover the outside corners. Begin by attaching an outside corner mounting profile. Make sure the profiles are perfectly vertical. Attach mounting profiles to the entire height of the corner. We'll use Wandstein outside corner posts to frame the windows. Install outside corner mounting profiles around the periphery of windows. The profiles can either be joined at 45 or a 90-degree angle. We'll use window trim to frame the window on the addition. Mount finishing strips around the outside of the window frame. Prepare the window trim for the top of the window. The length of trim equals the width of the window plus 2 widths of the trim used. Make cuts on both sides equal to the height of the trim. Bend the vinyl down at the cut to form tabs for water drainage. Adjust the trim width according to the depth of the window recess. After punching holes, attach the upper trim, locking its ends into the finishing strip. Prepare the lower and side trims in the same manner. Prepare the furring strips for an H-channel by placing 2 metal strips next to each other on the facade. Mount the H-channel so that it is perfectly vertical. Leave a 6 mm gap at the bottom between the H-channel and the start strip. Screw in the upper self-drilling screw so that the strip hangs from it freely, and screw the remaining screws through the center of the holes. Leave a 1 mm gap for thermal expansion. Space the screws 25 to 40 centimeters apart. Let's move on to the next stage, installation of the siding panels. How do we attach the first panel? Insert the lower part of the panel into the start strip groove and attach its upper part to a furring strip without applying tension. Space the screws 25 to 40 centimeters apart, again leaving a 1 mm gap for thermal expansion. Because this is a winter installation, leave a space of 9 mm between adjacent strips. Snap the bottom of the next panel onto the first one and attach it at the top to a furring strip without applying tension. Check every third row of panels to make sure they are level. Install the next panels in the same fashion. Finish framing the corners of the house by snapping the outside corner posts onto the mounting profile. Install the finishing strip at the top to complete the facade. Measure the distance from the next to last panel's lock joint to the bottom of the finishing strip's groove. From that measurement, subtract 1 to 2 millimeters for vertical thermal tolerance. Draw a line marking that distance along the entire length of the panel and cut off the lock joint side along that line. Make hooks on the upper portion of the trim siding approximately 20 centimeters apart. Snap that panel into the lock joint of the next to last panel and insert the top into the finishing strip. Snap the siding into the strip by sliding it upwards. Finish framing the window by snapping outside corner posts onto the mounting profile. We're done. When installing vinyl siding, always place the screws in the center of openings. Don't screw them down tight. Always leave a 1 mm gap between the screw head and the panel. Leave a 6 mm gap in all joints and stops at the end of the profiles to allow for natural expansion and contraction. Leave 9 mm during winter installation. Remember, the siding and other components must move freely without encountering resistance. That's the most important rule. Stage 4. Installation of Holzplast vertical siding. For this upper part, we'll use Holzplast vertical siding. We'll install drip molding around the facade's perimeter. Space the screws 25 to 40 centimeters apart, not forgetting the 1 mm gap for thermal expansion. Drill holes in a J-channel for water drainage. Attach J-channels around the area to be covered. Begin the installation on the left. Prepare a panel of the right size. Make hooks in the first panel for attachment to the J-channel. Snap the panel into the J-channel and secure it to the furring strip with self-drilling screws. Snap the bottom of the second panel onto the first and attach its right side to a furring strip without applying tension. Install the remaining panels in a similar manner. Stage 5. Installing the soffits. We begin the installation by mounting J-channels around the cornice. Attach a J-channel using self-drilling screws in the center of the openings at intervals of 25 to 40 centimeters. Next, install finishing strips around the perimeter of the cornice. The J-fascia will lock into them. After the J-fascia is installed, we begin installing the soffits. Cut the soffits to match the roof overhang. Alternating unperforated and perforated soffits, install one side to the J-channel and the other side to the J-fascia. Why do we alternate them? Alternating perforated and unperforated soffits allows for ventilation of the space under the roof. Use J-channels to form bends where the soffits join. Stage 6. Installation of the Rohrfitmeister 120 gutter system. We'll use the Rohrfitmeister 120 for water drainage. It's a classic round gutter system for keeping rainwater from damaging the facade. The system includes gutters. They collect rainwater from the roof. Gutter corners, 90 degrees or articulated. They're used to join two gutters at an angle. Gutter heads. They provide for the leak-free flow of rainwater from the gutter into the downspout. Gutter couplings. They join two gutters. Gutter end caps. They close off the ends of the gutter. Gutter brackets. They're used to attach the gutter to the fascia board. Downspout elbows. They connect two drain pipes at an angle. Downspouts. They carry water from the roof to the ground. Downspout couplings. They connect two drain pipes in a straight line. Downspout clips. They attach the downspout to the wall. Drain elbows. They are the end piece of the system. Let's get to work. Install two metal brackets. Attach a gutter head to them. When installing a gutter head, bear in mind that the roof must not extend more than 4 centimeters over the gutter. Next, determine the optimum angle of the slope for the gutter. In our house, rainwater will drain to the right. Therefore, we will install the gutter with an 8 millimeter slope per meter to drain 1.5 liters per second. Mount the end bracket to provide the needed slope. Run a cord from the bracket to the gutter and tie it. Begin installing gutter brackets to the left of the gutter head. Maintain a distance of 10 centimeters between the brackets and other parts of the system. The maximum distance between brackets should be 50 centimeters. Use a coupling to join gutter sections. Mount it 10 centimeters away from a bracket. We'll install the gutter so as to provide the proper slope. Prepare the end of the gutter and close it off with a cap. Insert its inner end into the coupling. Place the other end of the gutter on the mark so as to compensate for thermal expansion. Then snap the outer edge of the gutter onto the coupling. Insert an elbow into the gutter head. Measure the distance to the bend in the downspout. Continue assembling the downspout, taking measurements and installing each part immediately. Next, mount the downspout clips no more than 150 centimeters apart and 75 centimeters from the end of the spout. After placing the downspout into a clip, clamp it in place. Finish off the downspout with a drain elbow. Check to make sure the system is installed correctly by pouring water into the gutter. The system has been properly installed if water doesn't stand in the gutter and there are no leaks. With the Rohrfitmeister system, we gave the house a finished look and protected the facade against water damage. The specially developed chemical formula used for the system's parts, the unprecedented thickness of the gutter wall, and the advanced color system give the product high elasticity, environmental stability, and resistance to deformation. We have completed all stages of the installation. It took us 9 days. We are now ready to show you a totally new house, one that has been transformed thanks to the use of Holzplast products. Don't forget, when properly installed, Holzplast siding will last up to 50 years. Holzplast products combine high style with European quality. You can have the confidence that your home's facade will provide good service both for you and for your children. This is an opportunity for you to express your individuality by choosing materials that look completely natural. It's a way of beautifying your home quickly and at a reasonable price. Holzplast means eco-friendly materials and production methods that follow European trends. And you can do the work yourself. The main thing is to observe the installation rules and do things in the proper order. Only then does the manufacturer guarantee quality and durability.